as rocks are crushing each part of your body, as you're sitting there gasping for air.
I can't wait for the flight to my bachelorette party. It's gonna be fun.
That's easier. Welcome everybody to Literary Lushes with your hosts Megan
and Samantha.
And today we have some amazing guests that have been on our show before and we've been on their show. It is Book Life Podcast with Mo and Abby. Hello.
Welcome guys.
Hi. And today they are going to tell us a scary story. So we're very excited while we make a drink. And it's the Lemp Mansion. Awesome. Okay.
Yes.
And so our drink is called the Pear-fect Cocktail. Made with pear.
Yeah, I was really proud of myself for that name. I love a good dad joke. But so we're just going to give you guys a quick overview of the drink. If you want the full recipe, you can find it on our Patreon. But this is a pear and bourbon based drink with homemade honey ginger simple syrup that doesn't look super appetizing in the jar, but it tastes real good.
You didn't correct me on my intro.
Why would you do it?
I didn't say with our special episodes of the 13 short literary spirits. So there, that's in there now. So
happy Halloween.
Trick or treat.
Yay.
Okay. We're going to try to not interrupt the story.
Good luck.
It's a try.
And we have not looked up this story, Mo and Abby. So
it is more than one story. It's a whole history.
Mm-hmm.
We're going to educate you guys about some good St. Louis hauntings.
Oh, yes. All right, let's bring it on.
We are so ready. Whenever you guys are ready to take it away.
All right, so I'm going to start and I'm going to give you a history overview of what actually happened at the Lemp Mansion. So it was built in the 1860s. And it was home to the Lemp family, and it was located next to their family business, which was the Lemp Brewery. By 1870, the Lemp Brewery was the largest brewing company in St. Louis, and it dominated the beer trade until Prohibition closed it in 1919. But by the time the plant closed, tragedy had already struck the family. Frederick Lemp, the son of William Lemp Sr., who he was grooming to take over the company, died at the age of 28 from heart failure in 1901. This led despondent William Lemp Sr., who later committed suicide by gunshot on February 13th of 1904, after the death of his best friend, Frederick Pabst, in January 1st of 1904.
So for those who are keeping track, that is now 2 deaths happening already. Starting in 1901.
That's already 2 deaths.
Already 2. And we got to keep track because it keeps going.
Oh yeah. Mm-hmm.
Right, you keep count.
Okay. Like shots with each.
No, I think
Each one you take a shot. So you guys are up to 2 shots. Good luck.
Yeah, no, we're good. I'm not that brave.
Got it. This is actually how many ounces of bourbon we need right now.
Way to give away the recipe.
I just starting out. I'm just saying.
All right. So William Lemp Jr. stepped up to lead the company after his father died. His wife filed for divorce in 1908, and he gained sole custody of their son, Billy. This led to a downhill spiral for William Lemp Jr. The nation
went into probation.
Okay. I'm sorry. Can't read the notes.
Because I forgot some words.
It's okay. So the nation went into prohibition and the brewery suffered, leading to the brewery being sold to the International Shoe Company. After the sale, William followed his father's footsteps and committed suicide in his office, a room today that is the front left dining room at the Lemp Brewery. So that's 3 deaths.
Take a shot. No, just kidding.
Mm-hmm. All right.
Don't read that next line. Let them keep count.
Okay.
I'm gonna when I edit this, I'm saying this. I don't know if I'll actually do it, but I'm gonna have like a death count timer.
Yep.
Count.
Oh yes, awesome.
I'm gonna stop. Let's
we'll see. We'll see if she remembers.
We'll see. See how much
All right.
sleeps the day that I edit
this. Yeah, that too. Oh, I'm making a fucking mess.
So the kid.
Just continue as I spill.
All right. So then in 1920, just days after her marriage to her husband, and with her husband in the next room, Elsa Lemp supposedly took her own life with a gunshot to the chest, but left behind no suicide note.
And a gunshot to the chest.
It gets better.
It gets
better.
Awkward.
Mm-hmm.
So the Lemps called their doctor, an attorney, and the coroner without ever notifying the police. The police weren't involved until at least 2 hours after her death.
Oh, that's sketch.
Exactly.
That's 4, right?
Yep, at 4.
Then in 1943, William Lemp III died of heart failure at the age of 42.
This is all in the same place, same building. That's up to 5.
So they got worse left than the Kennedys, huh?
Oh yeah.
Guess what? It keeps
I'm
going.
surprised they can like reproduce with this bad karma.
And well, that's why they have to reproduce so quickly.
Yeah.
Right.
Number 5. Heart attack.
All right.
Is it heart attack? No, I already forgot. There's so many different ones. I'm still stuck on the
Okay, wait, hold on. I'm gonna shake real quick while you think about that last death.
All right. So then William's unnamed illegitimate child died inside the mansion somewhere around the mid to late 1940s. In 1949, Charles Lemp committed suicide in the mansion in his bedroom after shooting his dog in the basement.
Oh, I'm counting that.
Yeah.
I'm counting the dog too.
Absolutely.
What did they have like a horrible mental illness thing with all these suicides, or is it like suspected suicide?
Don't know.
Okay.
But since Charles knew there had been several other Lemp suicides that remained suspect, he left a note, but the note simply said, "In case I'm found dead, blame it on no one but me." Following Charles's death, Edwin, his brother, sold the mansion and it became used as a boarding home. Then, in 1970, the final death of Edwin Lemp at the age of 90 ended the family line. It's believed that Edwin lived as long as he did only because he sold the mansion and left the evil behind.
So did he die in the mansion?
No, he died on the family country estate.
Okay, so we're only at 8.
We're only at 8. So 8 deaths happened in this.
We're only at 8.
Just only at 8.
Yeah.
So the Lemp family was one of the most prominent families in St. Louis. So like everyone knows about the Bush family, the Anheisers. Like they did a good job with probation, with switching their business model. The Lemps sucked. Like they jacked it all up. And only because they sold it to the International Shoe Company, which, by the way, ever come to St. Louis, the City Museum is another building owned by the International Shoe Company, and it's amazing.
It's
so much
freaking
fun.
Cool.
Probably so haunted cool. As well. Probably haunted. But only because they were able to sell for $500 million in the 1920s, where was this family even able to still say, you know, for the next 20 years, kind of stay like a high family in St. Louis. But the boarding house is the key thing. You can visit the mansion today if you wanted to. You can actually go to murder mystery dinners. It's a lot of fun. Highly recommended. Have done it before. Or during the month of October, you get to do haunted tours. Let me tell you. So this is how much my husband loves this. He has a whole book about this.
Oh, wow.
Plus another haunted St. Louis book. This is how much my husband enjoys this. Okay.
Oh my God, he's in good company.
He is. So if you go, let me tell you what you might experience if you go to Lemp Mansion, okay? One story is from the Pointers, who owned the boarding house, and they were doing some renovations. And Mr. Pointer vividly recalled an incident that happened to him during the early days of the home renovations. I was painting a bathroom by myself. There was no one in the house, and I felt somebody behind me watching me.
Oh, no.
I mean, it was a terrible feeling, the most burning sensation you could have. I get goosebumps now just thinking about it. I turned around and nothing was there. I started working again and got the same feeling. So without looking, I cleaned up my paintbrushes and got the hell out of there. This guy owns the house and he's trying to make it into a boarding house. Please come stay at my haunted boarding house. It'd be fine.
You know what though? People would.
Well, in the 70s, it wasn't quite that thing. One of the stories I like is the right one. Okay, this is from a former waitress named Bonnie. Early one morning, I was going through the house, making sure that everything was as it should be before the restaurant opened, when I noticed a dark-haired gentleman seated at a table in what was originally the Lemp family dining room. He was facing away from me, so all I could see was the outline of his shoulders and his head. I was surprised to see someone at the restaurant so early, but I went over to say hello, and I asked if he would like a cup of coffee. He did not answer me. I looked away just for a moment to turn on the light switch, and when I turned around again, he had vanished.
Nope.
Yeah. So I know a lot of people in the restaurant industry in St. Louis, people work hard to get jobs there. They love it. And I don't know why.
Nope.
I don't.
No, I would have been handing in my resignation that day, being like, sorry guys, I can't.
Like I just talked to a person who's not there. So either I'm having a severe mental break or there's something going on.
Right, exactly.
Oh man, let me see. There's so many good stories. I like this one. Another waiter story. They always had the best stories. This was in 2004, mind you. It was a Sunday evening, and we were closing out at the end of the night. Turning out the lights, I followed a man who walked down the hall into the south bedroom, the William Lemp suite. I said, "Sir, we're closed." And I followed him in all the way. But when I got into the room, no one was there.
Nope.
And what I adore about this book, oh, you can't see it. It has a picture.
You gotta like use your face to, right? It's like,
yeah.
Wait, is that a photo?
That's a photo from one of the Ghost Adventures.
Shut the front door. That's like a full apparition.
Oh, I mean, this has been featured on so many things, guys.
I've not heard about this.
I mean,
before.
I feel like I knew because I don't know about it.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, we know about it now.
Yeah, it's one of the most famous hauntings in St. Louis. Let's see. Oh, what other great stories?
You know, it was probably the Ice Mountain, but it was still kind of weird to see like out of the corner.
Grand Tour. Yeah. I need some more stories.
That's family.
Okay.
Messing with our ice.
I'll tell you what, you know what? One story I was scared of to even talk about when we were doing it was that boy one.
Oh, Robert the Doll?
Oh, I hate that story. I hate Robert the Doll with a passion.
I
hate
mean,
that story.
you've never heard of it?
That one sucks. Oh, no. That one's awful. Like, it makes me hate dolls.
I hate dolls for that reason.
When she was talking about it, I never heard of it. And I went and got the pictures and I was doing all this and this. I'm like, oh, it isn't like you doing any of this. Oh, cool. Like, we're just gonna die now. Okay.
Cool.
Abby's like,
Yeah,
what do you guys do in spare time?
Okay, so like horror and thriller and all that kind of thing is just not my thing. Like scary stuff is just not my thing. And so I didn't know a ton about the Lemp Mansion until Mo wrote up the notes and I read through them. And so like, I don't know, people mention like horror books and horror movies and I'm just like, yeah, that's cool. That sounds terrifying. I'm never going to read that. Thanks.
Man, different strokes for different folks. I didn't get into like horror till a couple years ago. It's just
I hate horror, and yet my husband is like reading. He just read Pet Sematary, and I'm like, husband, don't talk to me about that. Well, let me tell you some more fun facts about the Lemp Mansion. So there's another story. The Pointers, they were once again in their, about 70s, 80s, still doing renovations, kind of hanging out, and Mr. Pointer heard outside his window the clipping and clopping of a horse, right? And he's like,
seems
on cobblestone, mind you. And he's like, pretty sure there's no cobblestone out there, and the next morning he's looking around and he's like, why is the grass dead out here? This is weird. So he started digging and he found cobblestone. He found the carriage house. So it is said that when the waiters go out, when the waiters go out to smoke, they like to stand there. You can listen to the sound of horses on the cobblestone while you smoke on your break.
Oh, yeah, that's terrifying.
How soothing.
Enjoy. Other things that happen. So oftentimes when pitchers of water are left on the bar counter, they'll start spinning the water. The water in the pitcher starts spinning. Sorry, as you guys take a drink, you're like, thank you.
Is it perfect or is it perfect?
It is pretty perfect. It's and you know what? The wit bourbon makes a huge difference. I think if we'd done this with the smoky Johnny Walker, it would have been horrible.
Yeah, one time we used a smoky whiskey for a drink and it did not end well.
It did not translate, huh?
No. So this is much, and we made sure we got the smooth.
And we got the Winchester brand because we like supernatural. And also the Winchester Mansion is cool too.
There's a piano in the dining room that oftentimes, as they're closing up, starts playing on its own by itself. And they call her the Lavender Lady. She comes and plays them as they leave for the night.
Oh.
Here's a question. Is it good music? Or is it like awful? Like somebody who is, a fourth grader trying to play the piano?
They think the Lavender Lady is probably Elsa. They're not really sure. So it's also said that the unnamed illegitimate child was a boy with Down syndrome who only got called Monkey Face, and that he's often playing jokes because he just wants to play and be friends. So he likes to move glasses around the dining room, take napkins and move them around.
See, that's okay.
Yeah, no, he's okay. He's like him and Elsa, we're okay with.
I'm feeling it's gonna take a dark turn here, Mo.
It could.
You're not wrong. It's possible.
No, it doesn't have to.
Abby's like, I might have to go.
One cute thing I did read about the little boy was that they've had actual like paranormal investigators come in and like see if they could play with him. So they like left toys and put circles around the toys, and the toys were moved when they came back.
Mm-hmm.
So
yeah, he just wants friends. He wants to be loved. We feel for him.
We'll be friends with you.
We'll be friends with him.
Yeah.
There's also, of course, who shot their dog? One of
the asshole.
Was it Charlie?
Was it Charlie?
Uncle or something.
Yeah. So oftentimes in the basement, you hear the tippity claps of claws, like little puppy claws, and you hear barking a lot. Some people say they feel the brush of a dog on their hand. Like you, yeah, So imagine your dog coming up to you next time, just kind of.
Part of me was really hoping one of my dogs, when you said the clicking, clacking of the dog's paws, I was really like, come on, dogs, get up. Someone get up.
Wait. The clicking and clacking of the dog.
Of course, the time we want them to make that noise, they don't do it. They're like, oh, asleep.
Of course.
It must be nice.
Useless.
So yeah, and I mean, they've done seances, and people are certain the person who talks the most is Charles Lemp, and he's been identified because he hated Roosevelt, and a lot of times if you call him with your seance, he's like, "Damn Roosevelt." Right? He is not happy.
He's holding on to that grudge for a long time.
He's still holding on to that one. And then a lot of it, like Charles, his big thing, every time that he's the one that usually gets not contacted, but the one that comes to the seances and participates. And he always is reaching out for Edwin. And always he's like, help, money, Edwin, rest, are his usual answers.
And Edwin was the one who lived to 90, right?
Yeah, that was the one that said, bye, I'm out.
So have they figured out, or are there theories as to like why all of these tragedies happened at this location and why Edwin was the only one to escape because he physically left? Like, clearly it's not a family curse because it would have followed him too, you would think.
Well, what if it was because the first one killed himself?
What if it was Edwin?
So what if what if it was him? And if like he like, especially if he had like mental issues and he like torment his family because like he had them and he was like, trying to reach out, but it made them all crazy too and caused them. And then if he was tied to that mansion, he couldn't leave.
And this is also the time that was the Mad Hatter syndromes that was still pretty big, like in that 1900 through the 1920s. So that's one of the theories too. And I can't remember what was used in those top hats that created the Mad Hatter syndrome, but that's what they think part of it was, because Edwin came later. I mean, he was born in 1880, but he somehow missed that. So, and that was part of it. The first one, they think William killed himself because he had a broken heart over his first son, Frederick, dying, because this family has a weak heart disease that they suspected. And then when his friend died, he's like, that's it, I'm done. Like, and if you recognize the name Frederick Pabst, that's Pabst beer. Pabst, another brewing company or brewing family.
The hipster in me was excited.
As soon as you said that name, she's over here like PBR. Gorman. And I'm like, what the hell?
She hates it.
Yes. So they said William Lemp Sr. died from a broken heart, essentially. But the rest, they're like, no idea. They were in financial ruin.
Yes, it's still my
that's weird. Nobody does.
I feel like there'd be 1,000 other ways to do it, and not to mention shooting yourself in the chest isn't guaranteeing.
What if you like miss?
Or not even an instant death? That's like
a slow bleed.
You have better ways to go than that if you're gonna shoot yourself.
Yeah.
How's your drink?
It's really good.
I know. I was like, I need to slow down. Oh my god! So take the drink photo.
So have either of you guys been to the Lemp Mansion?
Yep, I have. I went for what?
For most of it, she was there because of the dinner, the mystery.
Yeah, a murder mystery. It was so much fun. Loved it. We were in. I have a whole map. Let me look at it. Where was I in?
So is it like murder mystery based on like the Lemp family, or is it?
No.
Okay.
No, it was based off some. They have actors, and it was a fun, crazy. Let's see. I was in this room. What is that?
Or it's like not a board. It's a party game though. But like, so if I were to I could host one of those.
Those are fun.
So I got to eat in the original dining room, which I don't know if anyone died in that room.
Was the food good?
Oh yeah.
That's
the food was great. It was so much fun. It was like a good 2-hour experience too.
It was cool. See that movie, scary movie? And then the guy sitting there with the potatoes with his little hand, and he's sitting there going like,
isn't that the guy who plays rolling shit? And
yes, yeah. But when you said about the dining hall, like as soon as I'm imagining this guy sitting there stirring your potatoes.
I don't know how her mind works, I'm gonna be honest.
That's okay. It happens. But yeah, it's a cool place. Now, I haven't done a tour yet. And if you get to do a tour, you get to do the mansion and go upstairs to all the rooms and everything and hear about them. You also get to go down into the basement, into the caves.
Oh.
The house is connected to the caverns of St. Louis, where all the old brewers used to store their beer. So Anheuser Busch, before they became Anheuser-Busch, Pabst, Lemp, all these guys. So St. Louis is a huge brewing city. They all stored all of their beer in the caverns, and those caverns were extremely popular during Prohibition. Obviously, they're popular with running, so they all connect together. So you can travel all over St. Louis underneath these places. But
no.
I mean, if I was there,
nope.
But those are also haunted too. But I can't tell you those stories because I don't know them as well.
Yeah, I'll do the stuff above ground. I'm not a fan of going underground.
Man, you're gonna make me go to the basement by myself.
Yeah, well, I can do basements, but I can't do caves.
Well, I'm sure it's like a basement.
No, it's caverns. No, it's caves because it's all limestone. So
I'd still go.
I did it twice, and I'm pretty sure I don't know how I did. I really don't know how I did them.
There is something to be said about dark, dank places
being buried alive
and just very, very spooky.
Having your air slowly diminish.
Okay, well, no, I mean, weird.
I'm sure you're gonna traumatize her.
Yes, as rocks are crushing each part of your body as you're sitting there gasping for air.
I can't wait for the flight to my bachelorette party. It's gonna be fun.
That's easier.
if you want to hear about some lovely ghosts at the Lemp Mansion,
Yes. Oh my gosh.
there is a great pervy ghost who likes to hang out in what was once William Jr.'s personal domain, where it had the first freestanding shower that's now a bathroom. It's the woman's bathroom now. And many women report, and this did not happen to me, but I did use the bathroom, that a man is often seen peeking over the stall. Look at them.
Could you imagine if you're just like peeing and all of a sudden?
So the question is, do you pee more or stop peeing?
I don't know what happens. But on one
yeah,
such
right.
You would you stop peeing because you're so scared?
I mean, if I didn't know that was like a ghost, I'd be like, get out of here, pervert, you know?
Oh no. Many women will come out and they bitch at people. Like there's two guys in there. Hope you got an eyeful. And they're like, well, what the hell is your problem? And then the bartender's like, oh, you must have met one of the ghosts. And she's like, oh shit, what?
I wonder if he has like a type, like if he likes blonde.
Oh, but this is perfect for that Law and Order SVU back in the day.
And that one, they say that's William Jr. because he was a womanizer. He was all about his ladies. He's the one who had the illegitimate child.
Well, that adds up.
And then if you get to spend the night, you can spend the night in like William Lemp Sr.'s room. And guests often report you can hear someone running up and down the stairs and kicking at the door.
Sounds like a wonderful night's rest.
Sounds great. And they say it's because when William killed himself, his son, William Jr., was known to have run up the stairs to his father's room, finding it locked. He began to kick the door to get to his father because he had heard the gunshot.
Oh.
So great night's sleep, guys. I know you guys want to spend the night, but you can if you would like. They do offer that as well, if you would like to stay the night.
I don't know about that.
That's a little much. I need my sleep.
I mean, I'll go visit, but I don't know if I would actually like stay the whole way. No.
Or you could get a job there. Like I said, it's one of the most sought jobs for waiters and waitresses, to say that you worked at the Lemp Brewery.
I mean, I guess that means you could handle pretty much anything, right?
Sure.
Can you get tipped? Because I'm imagining that might be one of those things.
If by getting tipped you mean you can't find your wine glasses, yeah, that's the kind of tips you get usually. Where you're like, where's my wine glasses? Sometimes wine glasses have been known to jump off the bar and just hit the wall and shatter. That's always a good time. They have to lock up their glasses, like lock and key, lock up the glasses and hope that they're there the next day.
Could you imagine you show up to open and just like all the glasses?
I'd be like, bye. I'm done. I quit. I did my stint. I'm good.
Yeah. And the Pointers still own the mansion, and they have co-owners now, and they kind of share the burden, but they haven't given up yet. They're like, we won't stay in it anymore. But anyone else can stay in it.
Right. I mean, and people clearly want to know about it and are interested in it. So I would probably do the same thing and be like, I'm going to own it, invest in it, but I'm not going to live there.
Oh, yeah.
That makes some bank money too.
And the Lemps are the only ones who had like all the tragedies, right? Everybody else after just had like weird occurrences.
Yeah, nothing else happened to them. It's just them, just the Lemps.
Huh.
Telling you, it was a dude haunting the rest of his family.
There's a curse on that family. Somewhere
he did someone wrong.
Or one of his ancestors, when they're like, the seventh son of the seventh son is gonna.
God, it's always so weird to me.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna lie, I had Alex, I'm like, oh my God, he's the first one of this generation.
Man.
Oh boy.
We cover mostly fantasy and sci-fi, a little bit of historical fiction, a little bit of literary fiction when the mood hits us. But fantasy and sci-fi is our normal wheelhouse. You can find us on most of the major platforms, Apple, Spotify, all that kind of thing. We have a Facebook and an Instagram. We update at least once a week. And we did just recently do an author interview a few weeks back. And that was pretty fun. And we both got the arc of the second book in the series. So, yeah, Mo's already finished it. I haven't had time yet.
I didn't move out of my house, so, it's fine.
Yeah, little things.
Just little things.
Yeah, that's fair.
But we like to do book reviews and occasional author interviews. Sometimes we have guests. And we also like to do book games and listicles. And we also, for our book reviews, first half is always spoiler free because we want to let people know about the book even if they haven't read it. So
we got to get better about that.
And with that, we say, stay lively with your libations.
Very nice.
We're not that good. I'm like, let's skip this. Never mind. We're not doing a together thing.
There's a reason we go back and forth instead of talking together.